Hey, it's Sally. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to say no without guilt. I'm going to give you some of the tools and tips that's going to help implement saying no in all your power, and at the same time, bring remembrance to how sacred your energy is. If the word no makes your stomach twist or turn, or you're one of those people that just says yes so you don't disappoint someone else, then this video is definitely going to be for you. All right, let's get into it. So, today I want to address what I think is one of the biggest energy leaks. And this is mainly for empaths and people pleasers, and that is the guilt that surrounds just saying no. Um, Many of us were raised to associate conflict, associate rejection, associate failure with just the simple thing of saying no. I know that this definitely runs super deep for me. It has been a big part of my journey, just learning to stand in my power and saying no to protect my energy, right? I know for a fact that this affects so many people. Um, and one of the reasons that it affects you so much when you're an empath is because we're so tuned in to other people's emotions, right? So when we say no, we're actually feeling the rejection and the guilt and the shame around that, perhaps coming from the other person. Um, so saying no can be very sacred because you are protecting your own energy when you say no. Um, you know, the truth is that every time you say no to someone in your power, you are aligning yourself. When you say yes, when you really mean no, you're misaligning yourself. Um, and that's just going to jumble all your energy. It's just, obviously we want to live in an aligned way. So it's very, very important to say no when you mean no. Um, and saying no is a boundary, right? The term boundary can sometimes sound scary because we think of boundaries as walls. But in this case, boundaries are sort of more like doors, right? They're like doors to a deeper authenticity for yourself. So when you say no clearly and kindly, you're actually giving others permission to do the same thing for you, right? So saying no can be looked at as like an energetic statement. It's an energetic statement of I honor my time, I honor my energy, and I honor my truth. And people who truly respect you, like truly respect you, they're not going to be mad at you for saying no. They're going to trust it. The people who do get upset with you for saying no, that's a trigger for you to know that, you know, maybe this person is trampling my boundaries a little bit. So it's something that you can test and you've certainly got to think about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you what I use to say no to stand in my power. One way I've used in the past is I'll just say to someone, I appreciate it so much, but I don't have the capacity right now. A second way is you could say, I'm going to pass, but thank you so much for thinking of me. And a third way that you can say no is honestly just tell them, I don't know, that doesn't feel aligned for me right now, but I hope it goes well, and I hope you have so much fun. You really don't need to over explain when you say no, even though, like, as empaths, as people pleasers, we tend to do that. We tend to want to over explain, but you really don't have to do that. A very clear, kind no is usually going to be enough. Um, yeah, and saying no with love, just remember it's one of the most powerful things that we can do in our spiritual practices. And it's one of the most powerful things that you can develop. And eventually, it won't be as hard to say no if you practice and learn that it feels good to say no when you're protecting your energy. Once you get the hang of that, your life will just be so much easier. But anyway, if this resonated, you can subscribe for more empath tools and spiritual boundaries. And yeah, every week I'm going to post a video. So I want to hear from you. How do you say no? Do you have any other great ways to stand in your power and say no without guilt? If you do, please drop it in the comments and hit subscribe. Thanks, guys. This is Solo Self.